Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300. From the gun, it's Taylor. And he's got his man. That's Landry. A couple of recent pickups. Taylor finding Landry for the Cleveland first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game, 17 carries, 64 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
The Browns' passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield. And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
And that's off the left upright, but it
that's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
The first carry for the second-year man, Joe Mixon. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A first down throw coming for Dalton. throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And the Browns' pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
Now, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And Eifert has it. And they're going to have this across.
At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have him back on their heels.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. That's now 4 tackles for loss if you add the 3 he had last week to the 1 here in the first quarter.
And some of it comes from vision. And when you're playing defensive end, especially with those teams that want to take their D-ends and move them out a little bit wider so they can see into the offensive backfield, they can see things develop, able to make plays, then they use their athletic ability to take over and spill them.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. So after the sack here, 2nd and 14. Here's Dalton. In there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sack's on back-to-back plays. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center, eluding the pressure right. It'll be intercepted. Picked up by the rookie Denzel Ward. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. David Njoku was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a shot taken.
Good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The numbers for Mixon last week, 15 carries, 5 yards past 100, and a touchdown.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And now to the air, Dalton. Flush to his right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Michael Kendricks able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right.
Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he's on first down, it's Taylor. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll run high, and he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
After the interception, here's Taylor. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Nick Vigil in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On second down, Taylor. That's Njoku over the middle. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he's got his tight end, Njoku. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He got 29 yards that time. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one.
Pressure, and he's going
What you have to do on that one is a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they get.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Dalton here from the gun. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
Another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
On third down, Taylor. Flushed out right. Taylor hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it as well. I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Out left side here to Bryant. And they work this.
Here you go, 368.
Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And incomplete this time. Now Taylor on third down. And that is incomplete. Just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
To throw here, Dalton. And the grab by Croft. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Dalton bootlegs out. Bryant with a catch right side. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Easy, 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 easy. Go. Go. We're good. 368.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Complete to Bryant. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 4 seconds left, and there's the timeout. In field goal range and a chance to tack on 3 before intermission. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Football, it's blocked. It's picked up. Nothing short of a disaster. 0 points on the scoreboard and a big 3 in the INT column.
So they've got to get him going, obviously, right? So you've got to get him in rhythm and really think of short passes. I think of jet sweeps where they just kind of toss the ball forward. You know, that counts as a forward pass. And then you can say to him, look at that. You completed 3, 4, 5 in a row. Now you've got to get your confidence going.
That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
The connection since 2011, Dalton to Green for a Bengal first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. They'll run again with Bernard. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Dalton. And that is incomplete here.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Passing again, Dalton on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
0.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals.
This feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. That's Macklin. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Whether it's what we call an even front or an odd front, and an odd front's real easy to figure out. If that guy is lined up over the nose of the center, typically that's an odd front defense. Odd number of people, meaning 3-4 versus a 4-3, which is an even front. You've got to control those guys in the middle. Whether it's the nose or the 2 defensive tackles in a 4-man front, if those guys can't get moved, you cannot run the ball in the middle of the field. And in that play, they were able to actually take care of business.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run it with Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the red zone now, here's Taylor on first down.
Turn around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
He's got his man, Boyd. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Dalton. Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 23 yards on the play.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football.
Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Larry Ogunjobi in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Good.
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Bullock will put this one close. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
The throw by Taylor here, and that's incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Taylor. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Taylor will throw again. Underneath for Johnson. And a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. fights through at the 5. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side, but how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Dalton, 1st and 10. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
368.
And it'll be Dalton again. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here you go, 368.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's caught. Now 3rd down. Dalton on 3rd and goal. And that is clear. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about...
And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they'll
throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Green flexing his muscle. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Green. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati.
Blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And this is good. It was running kind of gas. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Now it's Taylor. And his throw is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. 2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. Dumping it off for Johnson. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
And this kick is not gonna get there. It's short and no good. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They begin with a run by Mixon. And an alley to run. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And now to the air, Dalton. And Bryant's got it over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football.
5-0. Here you go, 368.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. Breaks open, and he's coming. We get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Taylor to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go, on the ball. On the ball.
They'll run it now. Here's Taylor. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to get it, but they were able to separate, put their foot on the gas, and get the win.
And since you mentioned neck and neck, I'm going to stay with a little bit of a horse racing theme. It was that close, and then really went into the gallop and finished it strong.
One more horse racing theme.
Go.
I am glad you...